Hey guys, Brian the Shaving Geek here with another episode of my shave of the day. Had the opportunity to try out a new product today, and actually I did an on-camera shave with it this morning, but I really wasn't happy with the video, and so I decided not to put that video up, and instead I'm going to do a video in this style and talk a little bit about the product, this new razor that I have actually, and then we'll do an on-camera shave with it in the future. Today is election day here in the United States, and so it's all over but the crying for me. I went and cast my vote, performed my civic duty, and so onwards and upwards or downwards or sideways, who knows what the future holds, but it's all good. So today, what did I use? Well, I actually got out a few items that are old standbys, I guess I would call them. They just have been on a long-term loan to my dad, and I just got them back on Sunday and decided to give them a try. One of them is this Samog or however it's pronounced, 1438, which is a brush that really for a long time was actually one of my favorite brushes. Before I really got into the synthetics, this was one of my favorite brushes. Now, this sat at my dad borrowed this and the soap that I used today almost probably a year ago. And my dad has very, very hard water. Had some problems lathering the soap. And so consequently, this brush sat there. I don't think he really rinsed it out very well, and so the tips were all clumped together, and so consequently, even though I did soak it numerous times to try to get it to soften up a little bit, you can see that it's still clumped up pretty good, and so I'm going to try the to soak it in a solution of mild apple cider vinegar solution to try to clean it up a little bit. It didn't really load very well today. It lathered well, but it didn't load very well, so just needs some touch up, but still a brush that I'm glad to have back in my den. For my soap today, this is one of my favorites, and that is London Barbershop by Maggard Razors. And let me tell you something. Whew, this is right up there as one of my top barbershop scents. Between this and Fine American Blend, and I'm trying to think, Clubman, Sterling Barbershop, and Tonsorial Parlor from Katie's Bubbles. Those are probably my top 5 barbershop scents. And this is rated right up there in the top, I don't know, maybe my top favorite, I don't know. But I absolutely love this stuff. And Maria's soaps just load, lather, and perform so well. And I just love this stuff. So, the new product today, I have in the house none other than the Hawk. Now, let me tell you something. When I saw Joseph, I want to say it was about 2 years ago, actually working on a prototype of this, I was very, very excited about it, because at that point he thought that he would be able to bring this to market at a price point, I believe at the time he was saying under $40 or well under $40. I believe that was kind of how it was worded. Now that was right about the time that the Mongoose had come out, and the Mongoose, I believe it's stainless steel, or the original version of it was stainless steel, $150. I'm somebody who is not going to, I don't want to say never, but I don't ever plan on spending $150 on a razor. I have tons of razors here that provide great shaves that I didn't pay anywhere near that. And so I'm sorry, just me personally, I have no interest in spending that much money on a razor. You're not going to find me with an Icon, you're not going to find me with Rockwell, unless I win them or find them dirt cheap at a garage sale. I'm just not somebody who believes that those razors are going to provide me with that level of shave whereby I would spend that kind of money. That's me. Now, if you want to spend that kind of money, great. But I don't plan on doing that. So I was very, very excited to hear that he thought he could bring these to market for a better price point than the Mongoose. Now the Mongoose, I believe, has been released in an aluminum version of this for around $99 for maybe the chrome version, and maybe a little over 100 for the black version. I may be a little off on that, but one of the biggest criticisms about this, right from the get-go, was it was a Mongoose knockoff, and people started talking down, and complaining about it. Well, those same people, I wonder where you've been when Maggard's been selling, and this is not to pick on Maggard, it's just to make a point. Maggard sells their razors, and I believe it was an article on the Sharpologist where they said that the head of a Maggard razor is very similar, and I can't remember exact wording, but it was very similar to the EJ-DE89. I didn't hear anybody screaming about knockoff at that point. To me, anytime a manufacturer can bring a product to market at a cheaper price point than their competitors, that's a win for the consumer. The fact that I can now go out and buy a Sterling Kong brush, which is a massive brush, for way less money than what I paid for my Plasan 2 years ago, is a win for the consumer. We can go out and buy many kinds of different synthetic brushes for a cheap price point. That's a win for the consumer. And so, you know what? The fact that Joseph can make this and sell it for $25 is a win, in my opinion, for the consumer. Now, I know that puts pressure on Mongoose, but folks, that's competition. If you want to pay the premium for a Mongoose, then go right ahead. I'm not going to fault you for that. But guess what? I'm happy paying 25 bucks for this bad boy here. And you know what? This performed wonderfully. But before I get to the performance, let me just talk to you a little bit about fit and finish. One of the things that Joseph says on his website when you buy one of these is that if you're looking for an extremely, and again, not remembering the exact wording, but kind of summarizing it, if you're looking for a extremely fit and finished razor, then this may not be the one for you. Well, I looked this over, and yes, these black ones are polished a little bit more. That's why they're about $5 more, because they do a little extra work on them to be able to put the coating on there. I looked this sucker over real close, and folks, I don't see a flaw. I don't see a single flaw in this razor. It looks great to me, and everything meets up fine. So the look of this is great. Now, it's a lighter razor than compared to my Fat Boy, or my Toggle, or my Fat Boy, or even my Super Speed. This is a lighter razor, but that doesn't bother me because I have gem featherweights. I have my F-Series injector. I'm used to those lighter razors, and so this didn't bother me one little bit. Feels good in the hand, felt good on the face, performed very, very well. I did a 2-pass shave, and it just worked. It worked very, very well. So I am very happy with this razor. I think the price point on it is fair, and yeah, no complaints. The Hawk. Now, one of the other things that guys complain about, and I get so frustrated with this in the shaving community, is if there's a limited release of a soap and they don't get one, they whine and cry. If there's a limited release of razors and they don't get one, they whine and they cry. And that's one of the big complaints that people have about Joseph's site, is that he'll release a razor and I didn't get one and it's so hard to get one and blah, 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 blah. You know what, folks? Number one, it's just shaving. I didn't get this on the first release. I got it on the second release. And you know what? If I wouldn't have gotten it on the second release, I would have tried for the third release. I have 50 some odd razors here. I'm not going to die not having this razor. So some of this stuff about people losing their minds over it, it's craziness. You don't have a right You know, again, being an American, it's not written into the Constitution that every man deserves, you know, to have a hawk. I mean, come on now. I don't think it's in the Canadian Constitution either, even though those Canadians do weird things. It's not a human right to have this razor. So get over yourself. If you don't have one, wait. They're gonna come up again. They pop up on the buy-sell trade groups. Some guys get them, shave with them one time, throw them up on the BSTs. They want to try the latest and greatest stuff. It's gonna come around, and if it doesn't, you're gonna be okay. I promise you. You're gonna live. Okay? You'll be okay. Wipe away the tears, put your big boy pants on, and walk on. It's just shave it. Oh, drives me nuts. So I was lucky enough to get one of these. Happy to have it. Enjoyed using it. And that's, let me talk to you a little bit about the blades. This is one of the things that I really, you know, is a bit frustrating about this razor. I don't say frustrating. I knew what I was doing when I got into this. But, you know, the fact is these blades aren't cheap. I think this was the cheapest one. It was on sale, $16.99. Somebody recommended these mild blades. And but they are a little bit more expensive than buying a DE blade. So that's kind of a downside to these razors. And since I only have this razor that takes that this blade, that's a bit of a bummer. So maybe it's an excuse for me to go buy a Shavette that will take that style blade. Got to think about that. Anyhow, to finish off today, I did use the Fine American blend to celebrate Election Day. Love this stuff. As I said, it's in my top 5 barbershop scents. 2 passes today. Great shave. Really enjoyed it. Again, with regards to the election, I'm glad it's over. I don't really think that it's over. This may drag on for a while. Who knows? But at least this part of it is over. So, somebody once said, the good news is that somebody's going to be elected today. The bad news is somebody's going to be elected today. But, hey, we've got shaving, right? This is Brian the Shaving Geek reporting live from my shave den, wishing you a lifetime of happy shaves. Have a great day, everybody.